morning, Chloe. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm just great. I've got some tea.
You got your tea? Chloe, we're just gonna start it off like that. We're just gonna start it right off. Let's see that mug up close. Look at all those butts.
Such a variety. All butts are
Such a
beautiful.
variety of butts.
All butts are beautiful.
You know what? All butts are beautiful. Where did you get that delightful mug?
This was a gift.
Oh.
Because my
my
friends know that as a personal trainer, I'm all about glute training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is so much, but I'm all about glute training. And a lot of people don't get enough glute training, and it throws things off in your hips. It makes things tight and misaligned and all that stuff. So I throw in a heavy dose of glute training with all my programs. And I talk about it enough that people get me butt-related paraphernalia.
Butts.
Yep, that's me.
I love that. Glute raining.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So on your mug, what's your? This might be a little sassy question.
Butt?
What's your favorite butt? Like on the.
I like all of them.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it again. All butts are beautiful.
All butts are beautiful.
There's something nice about each one of them.
Well, we should do a segment where you just you pick a butt on your butt mug, and then you talk about
what that person is like.
What that person is like based on their butts.
All right. Yeah.
Maybe that's something we can do tomorrow night. Maybe that'll
be a great
So Chloe and I Chloe is definitely the Sir Mix-a-Lot of the show.
If we had to pick one Sir Mix-a-Lot of Hello World, it would be me.
So we have Lizzie Roddy. Hi, Liz. I ordered the DB Method machine, and it's sitting in my basement taunting me. What is the DB Method machine?
What is that?
Is that something we need to look up? Is that something we should have our producer Mike look up?
I could do some myth busting here.
I mean, that's kind of Mike's job, is to sit and look stuff up for us. Oh my God, you guys, look it up right now.
Oh, okay.
So evidently, this is an important thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're okay.
Oh dear.
Good morning, Adi. Thanks for coming.
Thanks
for coming. This is it, huh? Hold on, right?
That's it. I think.
Sorry. There we go.
It's like a supported squat. Yep, that's what it is. You do squats on that thing. You move up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That does not look like a pleasant thing. But I mean,
Lizzie, do you feel the burn in your glutes?
She's done 0 squats on it.
She's done 0 squats. Okay. Well,
DB stands for double butt. I mean, yeah, that would make sense. You get that nice double. Is there a double butt on that mug?
I don't know what a double butt is. I'm sorry. I was trying to fake it. But I don't actually know.
We've gone off the rails so early this morning.
A little bit. Yeah.
But that's what happens when you start talking about butts.
Liz, talk to me after the show. We'll get some of that glute work done.
Yes, Liz, slide into Chloe's DMs and you guys can talk about butts. And more importantly, how to get your butt into tip-top shape, because that's what Chloe will do. Chloe, I think I'm going to talk to you about getting my butt in tip-top shape.
I'll do it.
I'm sure you will.
We'll get you some bands. We'll get on that glute bridge form. We're gonna take care of it. All right. Do we have like birthdays or something or trivia? What's next?
Like, stop talking about butts. Yes, we do have trivia. But before we do that, I went to Maine this last weekend.
Oh wow!
I wanted to talk
Did you get a lobster roll?
I didn't actually have any lobster while I was up there. Maine shuts down in like mid-October, late October. So not a lot was open, but there was plenty of stuff that was open. We had a great time.
Good.
It's absolutely beautiful up there.
Unplugged. You just had a chill.
Just had a chill. We went up Wednesday. We came back yesterday. And it was just a chill day. Me, my wife, our 2 dogs. We road tripped up with the dogs, which is fantastic. They were actually very, very good in the car.
Good.
And then we got home, and Gracie, our husky, just slept for like 4 or 5 hours yesterday afternoon.
Overstimulated.
Yeah, she crawled up onto our couch. First thing when we got home. She crawled up onto our couch, balled up, and then slept there for like 3 hours. I
love it.
She was
Incredible.
like, I'm so happy to be home. It was so cool to like see her just kind of relax.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really nice to get away.
That's great. That's so good.
Oh man, people are still all about the butts.
They're into the butts.
We shouldn't have started. We
probably just have a butt segment every week.
I mean, yeah, I think that's what they're wanting. So speaking of segments, tomorrow night we're going to be doing a special show, and I wanted to go ahead and just talk about that.
Yes.
Tomorrow night after Boy Detectives, Chloe and I will be back for your election night distraction. So it's not going to do anybody any good to sit and watch the election votes come in. It's just going to make you crazy. You've already voted. Hopefully, if you haven't voted, then go vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day you can do it. So do it.
Yeah.
And then after that, tune into 2MB Studios, watch the Boy Detectives. They're going to be doing the presidential draft. So they're going to be drafting the best football team made out of American presidents.
Yeah. What's who is your first round pick?
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. Abe Lincoln. Yeah.
Or but we talked about this a little before the show. Teddy Roosevelt is also up there.
That's my pick for sure. Especially Teddy Roosevelt loved football. And he made some changes to the game because too many people were getting concussions. So he was ahead of his time.
Joey Blue Eyes one says Grant, which was Mike's choice, which was Mike Carr's choice. Our
top 3 presidents.
Producer. Top 3 presidents. Those are our top. Those are, I think, going to be the first 3 picked tomorrow. So you heard it here first. Those are my predictions.
If you want to learn more about the presidents, I highly recommend. There's this book called How to Fight the Presidents by Dan O'Brien, and there's a chapter for each president. And so he decided that if he was not going to be able to become president, he should at least know how to defend himself in battle. And so it does a little blurb about what the president is like, and then what their strengths and weaknesses are, so that if you ever had to face any of them, you might stumble into a time travel situation. You don't know what's going to happen, but if you need to fight Abraham Lincoln, you got to know he's got reach. So you need to be quick.
Yeah. He's and as as Kit Tempest mentioned, he kills vampires.
He's a vampire slayer. Actually, a very good movie.
Oh, you know what?
I enjoyed it.
Okay,
Well, you're not supposed to go into it expecting it to be a masterpiece, Matt.
I walked into that movie expecting historical relevance, and I was not. Ooh, wrong movie. I thought I was going in and watching the Daniel Day-Lewis Lincoln movie, but it wasn't. So that's tomorrow. So tune in, watch that. We'll talk more about past presidents, and just try to, keep things calm until
and rank the president's butts.
Oh, I'm going to write that down so we don't forget that. Okay. Rank presidential butts. I'll start my research on that today. We'll have to do that. We'll have to just start
Looking for butt
Have you ever
pictures.
Googled President Butts to see what comes up?
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is Trump is all butt. He's just a butt.
Oh no. Well, yeah. But he
Like,
doesn't actually have a butt.
he doesn't have a butt. No, that makes sense because
No.
all the crap comes from here. Sorry. Yeah. See, this is
it. We don't want to steer into this.
no. That's a tomorrow night thing. This is a light and fun morning show.
Low
we talk
cussing,
about
high
butts.
fun show.
Yeah. No budget, low cussing, good time. That's us. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, let's go on to our fact of the day. Our fact of the day, a very recent fact. I love this when things like this pop up. Today's fact is on this date in 2003, the sitcom Arrested Development premiered.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Some of my favorite characters to date. Like I love everybody in that picture. But Job, I think, is my favorite character in that
Made
whole
a terrible mistake.
Michael.
It's an illusion, Michael.
It's an illusion, Michael.
Yeah. My
so
favorite
good.
character, hands down, Lucille.
Is Lucille. See, I like Lucille too. I like Liza Minnelli in that, which turns out was Ron Howard's babysitter, and that's how they got her into the show.
You're kidding.
No, when I was looking for trivia questions to ask, that was one of the facts I came across.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't care for Job. No.
I get it.
I get
it.
Here's $20. Go and watch a Star War. So here's your. We could do this all day, but here's your trivia question. So here's the trivia question for today. Speaking of Job, Will Arnett was not the first actor to be considered for the role of Job. Who did he have to beat out for the role?
I really want to know the answer to this.
I know. Well, you will know the answer to this at the end of the show.
Okay.
So that's the trivia question today.
Stick around, folks.
Get rid of this. I do love that the boat was called the C word. The C word. That's
C word.
It's just and Bob Loblaw. The law blog, Bob Loblaw's law blog.
Yeah,
I think it was called.
Yeah,
it was not Nicolas Cage, Kit, but that's a wonderful. I would have loved to see Nick Cage as Job. That would have been amazing. But we'll talk more about that.
We'll talk more about that.
It's also National Deviled Egg Day.
Wow.
Speaking of days.
How do you feel about deviled eggs?
I love deviled eggs. Like look at that. That looks so good. I have to watch myself at family gatherings, because I will just start housing deviled eggs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh crap, nobody else is like I'm watching people to make sure that everybody else is eating a deviled egg.
You're just going around the party. Did you guys all get one?
You guys get all got one? Because if you don't want these, I'm gonna eat, and then I go sit in the bathroom and just eat all of them off the plate.
Yeah. All right.
I shame eat deviled eggs.
Yeah, they're good.
They're delicious. So happy National Deviled Egg Day.
Happy National Deviled Egg Day.
And those things, they go back to Roman times. Like the very first deviled egg was in ancient Rome.
Can you believe they knew how to boil eggs back then?
Can you believe that they figured out how to boil water and then drop an egg into that boiling water?
Roman Empire was pretty advanced.
I know, right? And yes, all our viewers today will receive 3 deviled eggs in the mail.
3 to 5 business days.
Those exact deviled eggs. Took pictures of them. I put them in envelopes and I put them in the mail. They should be to you, as Chloe said, in 3 to 5 business days.
It's gonna be tasty. They're gonna be good.
Ooh. Not my.
I'm so sorry.
so sorry. Yeah, you'll definitely need that after you eat the egg, but you'll need. Never mind. I'm not going to go. We're not going to talk about that. We need to bring on our first guest.
Our first guest.
I'm so sorry that he has to follow all this talk.
Double egg discussion.
Yeah, and you know who we're missing is in deviled eggs, but
Loaf.
She'll be here later. Or she'll see the replay and be like, I should have been here. So we're going to go ahead and bring out our first guest. I'm very excited. Rachel, another shout out to Rachel Annelman, our producer for the show. She has just been killing it with these guests the last few weeks. And this guest is no exception. He is, he draws comics. He is a history teacher. He is a barterer.
Yep.
All the way from the great state of Kentucky. Let's bring on Chris Schweizer. Chris, hi.
Hello, Matt. Thank you all so very much for having me on. Hey, Chloe.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. It's getting cool around here, which I appreciate. I'm not a big hot weather guy, so always glad to welcome in the chilly weather.
Yeah. What's it like down in Kentucky right now? It's like
it's in the high 20s, I think. But that's coming off of a 50s and 60s week, so I'm excited about the high 20s.
Yeah, you got to get it's that bourbon weather. Get ready for that bourbon weather.
Yes, indeed.
It's a nice little snack down there. How do you feel about deviled eggs, Chris?
I love deviled eggs, but anything that requires prep time, I tend to not do. So deviled eggs tend to be a party luxury for me.
Right, when someone else makes them.
Absolutely, yeah. Exactly.
I don't.
My wife makes them every once in a while, but it's an infrequent occurrence.
Nice.
That's why then you appreciate them more.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Chris, you've got a shout out here from Janet. Says hi. Hey, you've got a fan out there watching. Very exciting. So Chris, you draw. So you're a comic artist. You do lots of graphic novels and things like that. Tell me about how you got into that.
Well, when I was about 25, all of a sudden, the graphic novel section in bookstores kind of exploded. Up until that point, I'd done a strip in my college newspaper. I drew a lot, but I never really finished any longer projects, and also it didn't seem like there was really much viability for the type of stuff that I wanted to do. It seemed unlikely that I was going to be doing a newspaper strip, and comics like Batman and things along those lines didn't really fit the aesthetic that I was capable of doing or the types of stories that I wanted to do. Right. And within about the same year, a whole bunch of cartoonists who had been serializing work in indie publications for a long time compiled those books and released them out into the wild as these standalone graphic novels. And, all of a sudden, everybody was publishing graphic novels. Everyone was carrying graphic novels. And seeing that stuff out there made it suddenly viable that, this could be something that I could do. And so I sort of delved into it wholeheartedly. I started drawing all the time. This is sort of in the waning days of message boards. And so I found some other sort of beginning cartoonists who were also sort of doing these short form comics, and they knew a little bit more than, they knew a lot more than me, and they were very helpful in letting me know, read this thing, try this, do that. And a lot of them have we've all come up together and I kind of latched on to the coattails of all of those folks as they started getting publishing deals and things along those lines. And I was able to learn a lot from them as they were learning themselves, which was great.
I love that. I love the idea of, that community kind of thing. Look at that. You're We're gonna have to start having you on. We're gonna start having you on a regular basis, Chris. If you're gonna bring the viewers. But no, I love that idea of finding a community in what you love to do, right?
Yeah. And there was something that I saw on your website about your process of like, don't look for your style, let your style find you. Can you? I really love that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, I think style, and this is attributable to sort of any of the arts or craftsmanship or anything along those lines. I think there's a tendency, especially among people who are starting out, to want to try and establish their creative voice, and to try and say place their mark. But the difficulty with that is that style. I heard once someone say that style is the things that you do wrong consistently. And I really like that viewpoint, because basically that's what it is. Like, really, I draw my feet too long and skinny, and that's part of my style. I like Jack Davis' feet. He was an old mad artist back in the 60s.
You know what? I'm a huge fan of him. Like, I used to read Mad Magazine all the time as a kid.
And he did all the big caricature movie posters in the 70s, Mad World and things like that. And I always liked how he drew feet, and I kind of learned trying to study his feet, and that's kind of stuck with me. But basically, as you do something more and more, whether that is stand-up comedy like y'all do, whether it is drawing, whether it's prose, whatever you might be doing, woodworking, as you start to do things, you start to determine a shorthand for yourself. This is the way in which I most efficiently draw eyes. This is the way in which I saw Scott Moyle on there. He's a stage combat guy. This is the way that I most efficiently riposte, and after a while, that sort of becomes second nature, and it becomes endemic of what it is that you do. And so I think one of the difficulties is that if you try to assign yourself a style, what a lot of times that will do is it will hamper your artistic growth, because you're trying to keep yourself within an existing box that your experiences are trying to take you out of. And so really stylistically, like and this is much easier said than done, and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Maybe I can make everything look a little bit better if I just do simple graphic 2-dimensional shapes, and then no one can see that I'm bad at 3-dimensional forms. Or I can't have high notes, so I'm just going to sing low like that, rather than practicing. I mean, there are reasons why we tend to default to our strengths, but practice is where style comes from, and repetition is where style comes from, rather than trying to grab hold of it and assign yourself to it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of your style. I was looking at some. I was talking about this before the show. I was I looked you up and saw that there was kind of the preview for your first for one of your first books that you did, and the drawing of the characters, like that kind of style, like it drew me in. I'm one of those people, like if I pick up a graphic novel and like the drawing style is a little bit too, I don't know, for me or whatever, I have a hard time getting into it. But when I see a book and I'm like, oh, I love how these people look. There we go. Good morning, Chris. Look at this. This is Chris, I'm just going to let you take over. But no, I love how your characters look, and I love how everything, like it's just got a really cool look.
Well, thank you very much, Matt.
What would you say? And you mentioned what was the gentleman's name that did Mad Magazine?
Oh, Jack Davis.
Jack Davis, right? What are some other people that you're like, oh, I really kind of that they kind of help shape your style?
There are quite a few, and different things I take from different people. Like there's a lot of folks. Comics is a pretty small community, and so as a consequence of that, the vast majority of people who are alive, we know each other. And so, and I know this is going to be tricky, me saying comics, because y'all are, you know,
we already had that. We already had that. Yeah.
Yeah. But comic books and, you know, that sort of thing. And so a lot of folks, you know, I've learned from by being able to ask them questions and things like that. So I started watercoloring, and that made a dramatic difference in terms of how I digitally color. And that was because I was two very good friends of mine, Brian Hurt, who was the artist on The Sixth Gun, which was sort of a Western fan. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, but with cowboys. It's sort of a lot of Western lore and supernatural stuff and adventure. And then Matt Kent, who's done a whole lot of great sort of weird takes on genre stories. So like spies, but they all have mental powers and things along those lines.
Oh, cool.
And so they'll sometimes collaborate together on commissions where Brian will draw something and Matt will paint it. Although Brian's a very competent colorist and Matt is a very competent drawer, they like to sort of combine their forces sometimes, and we'll often stay together sometimes at various conventions that we're at, or traveling some. And so I was able to watch them work together, and I had never felt comfortable watercoloring, and Matt kind of gave me some lessons that really dramatically impacted how I do stuff. And Brian, the way that he draws objects interacting with other things, he tends to omit lines. So if somebody is, say, holding a pin, if he were to draw this, then there would be an outline on the finger, an outline on the finger, an outline on the pin, but in the places where they're touching, a lot of times there won't be a line there, and that line will be differentiated with color. And that's something that makes it feel like there's a tendency in a lot of line-based art to look like you do you remember like color forms and those little sticker things where you could move a character around a scene when you were a kid? Like you have, you know, Smurfs and you move them around.
Yeah.
There's a tendency for a lot of line-based art to look like that, like it's something interposed on top of something else, and that kind of that interaction of the lines that I picked up from Brian makes it a lot easier to make it feel as though all of those objects are part of the same
world, physical
space. The same world.
So cool.
So there's a bunch of stuff. Hey, Ron, good to see you. And so, but I get a lot of influence from outside comics as well. So I tend to, I'm a big history buff, and so I tend to watch a lot of historical films. So there's a costume designer, Sandy Powell, who worked on Rob Roy and Gangs of New York and Shakespeare in Love and a bunch of other really good period pieces. And studying her work has been huge in terms of thinking about how to take, you know, old paintings of costumes or things that we see in museums and stuff like that, and give them character and personality, to create physical shapes with them that convey something about the character, and not just copy what it is that you're seeing in historical records, but to translate it into a way to enhance the story by what somebody sees.
Oh, that's so cool. And I just love the amount of collaboration that there is with like your group of artists. Like collaborating is so much fun. And that's one of the main reasons I love getting into improv is the collaboration aspect of the projects that you work on. So do you go to a lot of like festivals and cons?
Pre-COVID, I actually do a lot fewer than a lot of my peers. There are some folks who do stuff. My best friend is another cartoonist who lives about an hour north of me. Kyle Starks. He does a lot of comedy action stuff. He was a writer on Rick and Morty for a long time.
Oh, cool.
He did just some beautiful books, and I've colored a lot of his books. I'm not usually a colorist, but thanks, Miljenko. He's one of the only, you mentioned collaboration. He's one of the only people that I actually collaborate with on projects. Like there's a lot of shop talk amongst people, but I tend to be very solo and control oriented, and I like going out and seeing people for about 10 minutes and then holding up. And so, but we collaborate on a lot of stuff. We're working on a project together right now. But he, there have been years where he's done, like 40 conventions in a year, and I usually cap out at about 5 or 6.
Because that has to be a lot, even like pre-COVID. Like that's that. Like now, it's a nightmare scenario.
Yeah,
it is literally like 28 days later scenario. But
our people tolerance has dropped significantly.
There's a financial component to it. You make money going to shows.
Oh yeah,
those lines. You sell art, you sell books, etc. But I tend to do the ones where I know that I'm going to have a lot of peers that I don't otherwise usually get to see, and I kind of arrange them to be things. Or if I'm being brought in somewhere where there is stuff that I want to see. So like if I get a chance to go to Miami, then I'll also rent a car and go out to the Everglades and wander around for a while. Or if I'm going somewhere with a good museum, then I'll go to that museum. And, I try to work as much, turn it into as much as I'm able to schedule.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Do the same with like improv festivals and things like that when those were a thing. Going to cities where you're like, oh, we can see so much other stuff here besides just what's going on. I love that. It gives you a chance to see the country, and that's a wonderful thing. So let's talk a little bit about the stuff you've done other than drawing, because like the email you sent in response to my Hello World email was fantastic. Like you're actually one of the first people that had ever done that. Like sent me an email going, here are the things that I can talk about.
There's a lot of stuff where I haven't thought about it, and I hate to think about things out loud for the first time in front of people.
Right. Yeah. I get that. See, Chloe and I are used to doing that. Like Chloe, that's how Chloe and I communicate. It's just the first thing.
And then that's how we go down a tangent about butts.
About butts for 20 minutes. Yeah. So you mentioned something that you were into bartering. Like bartering has been a thing that you have done and a lot about. What I wanted to ask, like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever bartered for?
Oh, I see. I tend to be on the weird side of the barter, and I go for the really practical stuff. Like
what's the weirdest thing you've given someone? Eggs
and radiators and haircuts and things along those lines, like the day-to-day stuff that I can otherwise use. I'm not entirely sure. Nothing well, no. I wish I had a better answer for that, but it tends to be generally pretty standard stuff that I'm like, if I can avoid paying for this, then I would prefer to avoid paying for it. And I'll do a promotional poster for this business or something. And then, henceforth, I can go get my battery charged whenever I need it or something like that.
See, I love that. That you have that skill that you have is very easily bartered for things, and it looks like you have a wonderful barber. You must be doing something right.
Yeah. Well, I picked it up from my parents. They both would do it. My mom was a violin teacher, still is a violin teacher, and she would a lot of times when I was a kid barter for different things that would be hard. So, like, there was a mom of some students that would do all of her ironing. So she'd leave like once a week, she'd come and pick up things to be ironed and then would iron them and bring them back. And then my mom taught her kids violin for free. One family would bring us, a meal once a week, and she would teach their kids for free. And so, my dad would make these elaborate, like, Christmas manger scenes, and they'd be like these big things, and he'd kind of almost like auction a barter thing, like different people. He'd finish it and he'd be like, all right, who wants it? And what can you get me for it? And so, somebody's like, you get fresh barbecue once a week, or you get haircuts or whatever, and haircuts for life. And so I think you went with haircuts for life at one point, but they would be, I definitely learned it from them. And so there's a thing I do in Charlotte, and every once in a while, if I'm not in a position of hurting financially in which I have to accept money, I'll do whiskey trades for art. And so if you want a drawing, bring me a bottle of whiskey, and based on its value, I will do a piece that is commensurate in value to the quality or scarcity of the whiskey.
So if I were to bring you a bottle of Evan Williams, you would draw me a stick figure.
I don't mind Evan Williams. Evan Williams is fine.
I love that. Like, that is such a cool way to do things, because I have something that you want and you have something that I want. So let's just make it work.
As a result of that, I haven't bought hard alcohol in like 5 years, which is great. Like it'll last me a while. So
that's fantastic. That's one less thing that you have to go out for.
That's true.
Now I do want to ask you, I did mention as well that I love your back wall. The wall you chose, like, that is not a Zoom background. That is
this is all behind me here. Yeah,
it's all there. So let's talk about that boar's head. Did you get that boar's head, or did the boar's head come with the place?
No, that the boar's head. My father passed away about a year ago this week, and that had been in his office for a long time. He had gotten it because he ran an opera company, and also was in charge of the church music a lot of times wherever we lived, and so he would sort of turn however standard the church music was. It was usually in sort of more cathedral-ish style churches. He would do really determined my Christmas aesthetic is sort of a mix of Dickensian and medieval. And so he would do these big boar's head festivals like through the sanctuary. And so somebody would be carrying this boar's head upside down with an apple in its mouth, and you'd have like two beef eaters with swords like leading it in, and then monks chanting behind it and stuff like that.
That is so cool.
Needless to say, church has been a perpetual disappointment since I left home.
Yeah. When you that big, it's hard.
My pastor's watching. I'm joking. But we don't have monks and beef eaters anymore. So that is definitely a part of the worship service that I missed. So anyway, so he had that in his office for years and years, and that was whenever they were sort of cleaning that out, I took it and put it up here.
That
Boy, Matt, so cool. I'm so glad you asked about that.
I know, me too.
Where that story was going to go.
Chris, we're going to have you on every couple of weeks, just because there's still so much that
there's so many things on that back wall that we have to ask you about.
Yeah. I just we'll do 1 week for each item on your back wall. And then that would be great. So we've got Chris's website.
Oh man,
yeah, and I'm assuming you have at least 4 walls that have things on them. Otherwise, that's the most amazing lean-to I've ever seen in my life. So we've got Chris's email address scrolling there on the bottom of the screen. That's where you can go see his stuff.
His website.
Chris, where's the best place for people to go and buy your? I'm assuming your comics are available digitally.
They are. I'd say if you have, most of them are available at your local bookstore. We'll probably carry them. I've got my 2 most recent ones are for kids. One is, and I write and draw these both. One is The Roanoke Colony, America's First Mystery, which is sort of a breakdown of all the things that led up to the disappearance of the Roanoke colony, and then the different theories that are about that. And before that, last year, I had Fix a Car, which is a car maintenance book that talks about it's a graphic novel, but then it also has sort of like how-tos on different things, and
that I could use that so much. Like I could 100% use a book
how your
like
transmission works and stuff like that. So it was designed for new drivers, sort of, so that you could know how to take care of your car and make it the most efficient. But these and my other stuff, you can get at your local bookstore. You can get at your local comic shop. You can order from an online retailer. Basically, I get the same cut regardless of where you get it. So support a place that you like.
Oh, fantastic! So I'm definitely
Incredible.
going to be looking at the Krogan family. It's Krogan, right?
Yeah,
Did I pronounce that right? The Krogan Family Adventures. That's an amazing. That looks like an amazing series.
Well, thank you very, very
So
much.
I'm very excited to read that. I'm a big pirate. I'm a big fan of the pirates and that kind of story. So I'm very excited to read that. So yes, definitely look Chris up, find and purchase his stuff because it looks just amazing. Chris, thank you so much for being a guest on our show today.
Thank you both very much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. And y'all have a great morning.
Oh, fantastic. We look forward to having you back to talk more about the walls in your house.
All right. All right.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Oh my gosh.
That's just so cool.
Listen. Oh,
look at that. Yes. Buy all of his stuff immediately. Thank you, Wesley.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, like, I think I'm going to be able to get all my Christmas shopping done just like from stuff that
our
guests produce.
Yeah, and that's definitely stuff that I would buy for my nephews and for myself, right? But
I need that car maintenance book.
Yeah, right. Get that car maintenance book.
Well, also Roanoke. Oh, I used to love that kind of thing, like unsolved mysteries and stuff like that. I used to watch the History Channel all the time of like the super dramatic, like what happened to the people of Roanoke, and it's spooky. I like it.
It is spooky. And I'm absolutely going to pick those up. I love that. I do tend to go towards the digital downloads because I already have a lot of just stuff, and I prefer to have things that when I do move, I don't have to.
Easier to transfer. Yeah.
But I do love having hard copies of things too. It's the age-old dilemma. Of do I get the hard copy or
it's you have to pick and choose the things that you are willing to take with you, right? So like my big thing is books. That's like I have a ton of books. I'm constantly going through them to see if I have any that I just don't care about anymore, but like I still have a full bookshelf just for me, and then also a Kindle.
Yes, Rachel, it is an age-old dilemma that has been happening for a while now. I know it's not something that the settlers had to deal with, but yeah, you're right. This person is 100% right. Hard copy. I will purchase the hard copy. You're right. Thank you. You've convinced me. Let's do some YouTubing, Chloe.
YouTubing.
I'm very excited to show this video, but I showed my video first last week.
Okay.
So let's we'll see yours. Now, Chloe and I like to do this segment called YouTubing, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, where we each show each other a YouTube video that we think they haven't seen, but they might have. But it's just something that we like to do. So let's go with Chloe's.
Yeah. Well, so with election week happening, I thought that it would be on theme to show someone doing their civic duty and getting involved in the community and the important things in life.
Is this a TikTok?
It's not a TikTok. It's an actual video today.
Okay. All right.
Lincoln has the opportunity to be a social leader in this country. We have been casually ignoring a problem that has gotten so out of control that our children are throwing around names and words without even understanding their true meaning, treating things as though I go into nice family restaurants and I see people throwing this name around and pretending as though everything is just fine. I'm talking about boneless chicken wings. I propose that we as a city remove the I propose that we as a city remove the name boneless wings from our menus and from our hearts. These are our reasons why. Number one, nothing about boneless chicken wings actually come from the wing of a chicken. We would be disgusted if a butcher was mislabeling their cuts of meat, but then we go around and pretending as though the breast of the chicken is its wing. Number two, boneless chicken wings are just chicken tenders. I don't go and order boneless tacos. I don't go and order boneless club sandwiches. I don't ask for boneless auto repair. It's just what's expected. And number 3, we need to raise our children better. Our children are raised being afraid of having bones attached to their meat. That's where meat comes from. It grows on bones. We need to teach them that the wing of a chicken is from a chicken, and it's delicious. I propose that we rename boneless wings in the city of Lincoln. We can call them buffalo-style chicken tenders. We can call them wet tenders. We can call them saucy nugs or trash. We can take these steps.
Saucy nugs or trash?
Where we stand, and that we understand that we've been living a lie for far too long. And we know it because we feel it in our bones.
Thank you.
Oh, that
I
guy.
would like to just comment here. For the record, that's my son.
Good. Put your mask on.
That's it.
Oh, what? You know what?
Yeah.
Yes, I am 100% behind that guy.
Yeah. Saucy nugs
So or trash.
or trash.
Yeah. Be honest and call it auto repair tenders.
It's for
I
the
love that he's
children.
like for our children. For our children. And speaking of children, that's
boy.
what is the main focus of the video I'm going to show you.
Excellent.
This is just the feel-good video clip of the last couple of weeks. My wife sent me this on Facebook, and I'm like, I am. I guess. Sorry, Kit Tempest is asking if the vote passed. I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I don't know.
We should definitely look that up to see if that is I really hope so. It passed in my heart, and that's all
We
that really
feel it in
matters.
our bones.
Yeah. So this video that I'm going to show Chloe, is just one of the most feel-good things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen this, Chloe?
I haven't. I don't think I've watched the whole thing, but I've seen part of it, and I am delighted.
It is 100% worth a full watch. So let's do that.
You ready, Sam?
Yeah.
We tell everybody what they can be when they grow up. They can be anything. You ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
You can be an A. You can be an architect. Sketch a building to kiss the sky. You can be a B. You can be a biochemist. Make medicine save lives. You can be a C. Computer or software developer or programs and systems and files. You can be a D. You can be a dentist because everybody loves to smile. You can be an E. You can be an engineer, solve problems of all kinds. Chemical, mechanical, electrical, use the power of your mind. You can be an F. You can be a firefighter, fight fires in red trucks. You can be a G, gastroenterologist, deal with problems in the gut. You can be an H, hospital administrator, hospitals need leaders. You can be an I, intelligence officer, the FBI kind of people. You can be a J, you can be a judge, help people who seek justice. You can be a K, kindergarten teacher, those kids are young and restless. You can be an L, you can be a lawyer, cause people need to know their rights. You can be an M, mobile app developer, like the people that made Fortnite. You can be an N, and you can be a nurse, medical kit for the masses. You can be an O, optometrist, for people that need eyeglasses. You can be a P, paramedic, for medical emergencies. You can be a Q, quantum physicist, for particles and energy. You can be an R, researcher, find cures for disease. You can be an S, stockbroker, you get to work with money. You can be a T, truck mechanic, trucks are critical transportation. You can be a U, university president, build a future of your nation. You can be a V, video game designer, with Xbox and PlayStations. You can be a W, web developer. It's an online occupation. Now take that S. You can be your own with impact on the world. And with that Y, you can be your own boss. Tell me boy and girl. And with that Z, Z is you strive. You can reach the sky if you try. Just don't be a Z. Just don't be a zombie. And let the world pass you by.
Oh,
Sam.
Way to go, Sam.
Oh my gosh. He's so happy.
He's so happy. And that was all one. Like, that kid did that
That
memorized.
was one take.
That's better than I can do. I couldn't do that in one take. That
was pretty great.
Yeah, so good. So good. So that's our YouTubing for this thing. Quickly becoming one of my favorite segments of the show. Fantastic. Well, I'm very excited. We're going to go ahead and bring on our next guest. Very excited to have this performer on our show. Once again, Rachel, killing it.
Crushing it.
She is a singer. She is a musician. She is up for a Best of Boston Music Award. Very exciting. So let's welcome onto the show Marcela Cruz. Hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I just got to say, boneless wings are not trash. That last video was everything. I saw that over the weekend and wow.
Yeah. I could definitely watch that. That's one of those videos that you can watch if you're like feeling a little depressed and you're like, I need to feel better about this world.
Absolutely.
And then you watch that kid and then you're like, okay, he's going to be in charge of the world in like 10 years, 12 years.
Very soon.
So we just got to wait. We just got to be patient.
We just got to hold on.
We just got to hold on to the fact, and hopefully the young people of this country will fix all the shit that the rest of us have screwed up. Sorry, low cussing.
Low cussing show.
So Marcela, I mentioned that you are up for a Best of Boston Music Award, which means you're local. Where are you calling it from this morning?
So I'm calling from Lynn, just outside of Boston, but I'm originally from Lowell. So shout out to Mill City.
Beautiful, beautiful Lynn, Massachusetts. So welcome to the show. So you are like, how long have you been doing music?
Oh man. So I've been singing since I was in like the second grade. But in terms of writing my own music and performing, I started when I was in college, and then after graduating and getting my degree, started to do it more seriously and kind of getting into studios and recording original music. And yeah, the rest is history.
Nice. Have you been using your quarantine time? Has that? I'm assuming that you've gotten probably quite a bit done over the course of the last few months.
Oh yeah. Lots of time to kind of think about what content or what material to put out. And also a lot of time to kind of just brush up on kind of what to do on the business side of music, because that's equally as important. So just looking for new opportunities, especially since kind of gigging and live performances aren't alive and thriving right now, but being able to find other opportunities for my music and things for the future.
Have you been doing a lot of Zoom performances, a lot of virtual performances?
Not a ton, but I've definitely done a few over the summer. I also put together a little series, a month-long series called Something Old, Something New. And a few of my buddies, my drummer, Jordan, shout out to him, my guitarist, Mike, Fret Killer Chrisman, my producer, Nelly, who I think is watching. What's up, Nelly?
Wait, Nelly?
Nelly Pro Tools? Do you know Nelly Pro Tools?
Oh, no, that's a different thing.
Yeah. But,
I was thinking a different, I was thinking.
Different Nelly? Yeah. But we all got together and filmed a couple live performances out in my backyard and like on my deck, and then just started to stream them via IG and Facebook and all that, which was really fun.
Oh, that's fantastic! That's fantastic. What is your Instagram handle? Like, if people want to see stuff of yours, where would I think I have that actually here somewhere.
Yeah, it's Marcela Cruz Music, and Marcela.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm gonna hold on. I'm just gonna copy and paste it real quick into the here so we can see it.
So how would you describe the style of your music?
Yeah, so it's R&B pop, and more recently I've been doing a little bit more Latin, kind of Latin R&B vibes. which I'm really feeling. And yeah, a lot of my music tends to lean towards like love and heartbreak, but also kind of just like feel good music, kind of putting you in your feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
But
you got to have both.
Gotta have both. Yeah. But not to say it's limited to that. Definitely always open to kind of evolving and exploring new styles and new sounds.
Well, I mean, I'm very excited to hear your tunes. So, what's the first number you're gonna sing for us today?
Yeah, this first number is called Magic, and I released this one last year, and also have a music video up on YouTube. So if anybody wants to check that out, feel free. But yeah, this is Magic. Sorry if you can hear my boyfriend teaching downstairs.
Okay, we'll learn something.
Yeah. Ooh, let me start from the beginning. Do you feel the magic? It's in the air, on me like static. I've been waiting for you, I've been patiently waiting. I don't know what it is that you do, I don't know what it is. Change your heart, you got me changing ways. Bite my tongue on things I wanna say, but it's like I've known you forever. Now there ain't no feeling like the one I got. I feel myself healing from the ones I find. Oh, do you feel the magic? It's in the air, on me like static. I gave my time to the wrong ones. Ain't nothing left for the wrong ones. Looking on back, I was so dumb. Looking on back, I was so dumb. Holds me down, keeps me up all night. Love you up, baby, I just might. Things are better now that we're together. Now there ain't no feeling like the one I got, no. I feel myself healing from the ones I find. Oh, do you feel the magic? It's in the air. It's on me like static. Pinch me, I feel like I'm dreaming. It's exactly the feeling I've been feeling. I don't know how I've been living without it, but you're here all about it. You're making it hard for me. It was supposed to be slow. Know when you know, when you know, and I know. Oh, only you can take me there. There. Oh, do you feel the magic? Yeah. It's in the air. It's on me like static. Do you feel the magic? It's in the air. It's on me like static. Feel the magic. Again, that's called Magic, and you all can listen to it everywhere, and stream it everywhere, and watch the video on YouTube. Go check that out.
Fantastic. Oh,
I love
wonderful.
that.
Yeah.
So
And I did put
smooth.
the I put the link for that video in the chat. So
awesome.
if you'd like, you can click on that. And it looks like you've got some
You got some
you've
fans.
got some videos up there, and you got some fans. Fantastic. Oh, so it's such a wonderful, like, I don't know. So it's a nice little groove to listen to first
Yeah.
thing.
He's into the morning. He's into the week.
Yeah. I mean, you got to, especially this week. This week is going to be a rough week.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to have, tomorrow's just going to seem like a week in and of itself, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're all taking care, self-care.
Yeah. So you have an incredible voice. When did you, like, how old were you when you started performing?
So I started, it's funny though, my first performance ever was in second grade, and I sang My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion because I was obsessed with Leo DiCaprio, obsessed with Titanic. And
How could you not be?
I know. And in music class, I just started singing, and my music teacher, Miss Rogers, was like, "Oh my goodness, you need to sing," and ended up singing for like the next school show. And
I love that you had a teacher that was like, "You should be singing."
Yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Rogers.
Yes.
So we've got a question in the chat. Raj Andelman, of course, our wonderful producer, is asking you about the time you sang the national anthem.
Oh man, many times.
Many times. Was there one time in particular?
So I have in most recent years have been singing the national anthem before Red Sox games.
Wow.
Celtics, got to sing at Gillette Stadium before a Monster Jam event, which is cool. Hopefully one day we'll be the Patriots. But I've been singing it quite a while in front of, or I guess for a lot of different events.
Now, that is not an easy song to sing. As someone that sang the national anthem, I was part of the national anthem club in my high school.
Really?
We sang before the JV basketball.
Matt, what is that?
It was just a group of choir kids that would sing the national anthem.
The anthem.
We would it would be like, okay, who's singing this before this game? Who's singing before this game? That is not an easy song to sing.
No.
So tell me what it's like to sing it in front of thousands of people.
I black out. I can't even tell you. I black out.
Really?
Well, I mean, I get really nervous leading up to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I enjoy the most when I'm like singing in front of a big crowd is I know the sound's going to be really good, and I can just hear everything really nice and crisp. So it's enjoyable. I like obsess over like clear, crisp vocals. So I just like that part. The only thing that kind of sucks is the delay. So sometimes in stadiums, you have to kind of account for that delay, and you're also being timed. So you can't go over like a minute 30, and I'm like cutting off riffs. I'm like, I can't sing it that way. No. What am I doing for time? But it goes by so fast. I feel like I black out, but it's fun. And once it's over, it's like the best feeling. Like the adrenaline is
fun. Because that's pretty much a guaranteed standing ovation there, because everybody's standing already. So it's just like, and plus people are ready for whatever's getting ready to happen. So that just has to be cool. That just has to be
cool.
The coolest thing. Do you ever worry about forgetting the words?
All the time.
I know that's something that's happened to people that like nationally, like singers, like Celine Dion, like not Celine Dion, but who was it that forgot the words while they were singing the national anthem?
I was gonna say Fergie, but I don't think it was her.
No, she didn't forget the words. She just didn't do a great job.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but it's weird because sometimes, like, you know it, you've rehearsed it so many times, you've performed it so many times, and even with like original music, but sometimes you get into your head and then you forget like what you're doing, and you come back and you're like, oh shoot. Okay.
Oh crap! I went somewhere and I didn't mean to.
Right. It's weird.
We've got another. Rachel is really picking your brain here, but this is a great question. What's your least favorite situation to sing in? Like of all the professional singing you've done, what's the least favorite? What's your least favorite?
I would have to say, and not to say it's like my least favorite because it's like an honor to do this, but I have sang at like funerals or memorials, and as soon as I see someone crying, I just start bawling, and I'm like, I can't sing. I have like a lump in my throat.
Yeah, it does make it harder.
Yeah. But honestly, it's like still a beautiful experience, and especially for like memorials and just like celebrating somebody's life and knowing that somebody trusted you to do this.
Yeah.
But obviously the situation is not
right. It's not a good situation.
Yeah. But there's a lot of pressure too. So
yeah.
It's like,
because if you don't do well, you'll be haunted. If it's not good, that person will stick around.
The haunting pressure.
Yeah.
And just constantly give you notes.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than ghost notes. So we've got a second number. What's the second song you're gonna sing for us today?
Yeah, so the second song is one of my latest releases called Misbehave. A little bit more on the promiscuous side. But it's so it came out in September. And yeah, this is also available everywhere.
Fantastic.
I'm like waiting here for the music to stop playing, and I'm the one who needs to.
Yeah, sorry. This is a tech yourself kind of gig.
No, I like it. Here, there we go. I got a fever. It's making me do things, making my heart sing. Songs that make my body go like this. I can't stop. Ain't nothing wrong with our direction. Just us two, no interruptions. It's just us. Just for the night, you're what I need. Get what's good and you're good for me. Chills when you touch, I'm thinking one night ain't enough to misbehave. Let's misbehave. Oh, what you do, oh, when you do, oh, how you do me, baby. Misbehave, let's misbehave. I'm a believer in what has brought us here. Listen, you will hear sounds that drift off deep into the night. I can't stop. Ain't nothing wrong with our direction, just us two, no interruptions. It's just us, just for the night, you're what I need. Get what's good and you're good for me. Chills when you touch, I'm thinking one night ain't enough to misbehave. Let's misbehave. Oh, what you do, oh, when you do, oh, how you do me, baby. Misbehave, let's misbehave. So good to be that I'm feeling like I need you more and more. You're the drug I've been searching for. Ooh. Chills when you touch. Misbehave. Let's misbehave. Oh, when you do. Misbehave. Let's misbehave. Chills when you touch, I'm thinking one night ain't enough to misbehave. Let's misbehave. Oh, what you do, oh, when you do, oh, how you do me. Misbehave, let's misbehave.
Fantastic. Oh, so
Love
good.
it.
Yes. Fantastic. Marcela Cruz, such a talent. So Marcela Cruz music, find and follow on, are you mostly Instagram?
Mostly Instagram, Facebook. I'm on there, but yeah,
Wonderful.
Instagram.
And MarcelaCruzMusic.com. Go purchase and enjoy the music. And yeah, you know what? We were talking about this before the show as well. It's like you can go to Spotify. Marcela's all over the Spotify. Lots of tunes on there. But you know what? Go to Apple Music, drop the $1.99, buy a song, and help support Marcela because, you know, I mean, as performers in the age of COVID, yeah, right? It's got to come from somewhere.
Yes.
So Marcela, thank you so much for
you
joining us. Do you have anything live? Do you have any sort of Zoom shows or anything coming up?
I have a couple coming up. They'll be announced on my Instagram, so just follow there, and you'll be up to date. But yes, thank you all for having me so much. I hope everyone has a great week.
Yeah, and I can't wait to have you back. So thank you so much, Marcela. Have a wonderful rest of your morning.
Thank you. You too.
Wow, so good.
Yeah, I was grooving.
Yeah, no, it's so good to have that kind of morning groove going, you know, and it really does kind of set up for the day.
Yeah,
it's one thing I love about this show so much is it just kind of gets me started, and it's already, you know, almost it's almost 11. So we've got this.
We've got this.
We're
gonna make it through this Monday.
We're gonna make it through this Monday, and hopefully we'll make it through Tuesday into Wednesday. Once again, I just want to remind people tomorrow night, Chloe and I are going to be doing a special segment or a special edition of Hello World for your election night distraction. After Boy Detectives. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for that. Tonight, though, so much stuff on 2MB Studios. We've got our Monday night lineup, which I'm very excited about always. Poof, the Magical Game Show with Nate and Bacon. Just two of the weirdest, funniest dudes. And they've put together a game show that is real dumb, but real fun. And then after that, we've got the Real Game Show Run On, hosted by the amazing Ben Scria. And I have the privilege of being the Vanna to his Pat Sajak.
You make an incredible Vanna, I have to say.
Thank you. I've watched a lot of Wheel of Fortune in prep for my work on what's the name of the show again? Run On. That's right. So many ghost notes on Poof. So many ghost notes. Adi was the special guest on Poof last week. And it was real fun. It's fantastic. And then for Run On tonight, Brandy, our new champion, is, I believe this is her third week.
Wow.
She's rough to beat. She's hard to beat.
Yeah.
But who knows? And tonight the jackpot is up to $230.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps rising.
It just keeps rising because Rachel says that it is impossible to win. But I just think that when it is, that's what people said about the wheel as well. But now look how that's turned out.
Yeah. It's doable. It's winnable.
It's doable.
But you have to be brilliant.
You have to be brilliant. And that's all we ask.
It's about wordplay.
That's all we ask, is that you be brilliant.
Yeah.
So let's also, we've got, let's do some plugs. Let's do some plugs for ourselves. So something that you should definitely be getting involved in is 3weeks.courses.
Yes, please.
You should check that out. Chloe, talk to me about 3weeks.courses because you're one of the instructors.
I am one of the instructors. 3weeks.courses. It's just a 3-week chunk of knowledge to get you learning, get your brain going. I'm teaching a class called Less Pain, More Gain. It's about making modifications in your workouts to work around injuries and stuff like that. So, there's this whole toughness mentality of like push through. But that's actually a bad idea when it comes to, joint pain, or if something's misaligned with your muscles and you keep working the wrong muscles, it's gonna bite you down the road. And so this is me giving people permission to modify things to work for their own body.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we have it's on Wednesday nights. And it's going to be a good time, and I love it.
People still sign up for that class?
People can still sign up.
Okay, great. So 3 weeks courses. You can sign up and take a class from Chloe right now. All you have to do, go to 3weeks.courses, sign up, and make sure you tell them that 2MB Studios sent you, because that's a wonderful way to help support the channel. Yeah. And keep an eye out for Chloe's next class, Butts. It's 3 weeks of
all about them butts.
All about them butts.
Actually, I probably should run that class, honestly.
I mean, I'd take that class.
Yep. We're not using that equipment, though. I'll tell you that much right now.
Mike is having far too much fun with this. Sexy Abe Lincoln. Oh, now man. That is Abraham Lincoln, if I've ever seen one.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, and do please follow and subscribe for all the butts you can handle here on 2MB Studios.
Yep.
Also, I would like to give a shout out to our wonderful kind of sponsor, Red Barn Coffee. It's a wonderful little coffee roastery just outside of Boston. They're a wonderful group of people. And if you go to redbarncoffee.com and place your order and use the checkout code Hello World, you get 15% off your coffee, and they will ship it anywhere in the U.S.
Red Barn Coffee Roasters. It's just outside Boston.
That's the tagline for it. Today I had I mixed a little pumpkin vanilla with a little cinnamon hazelnut to make a little cinnamon pumpkin French vanilla. It was so good. It was like the last bits of 2 different bags that I put because I put a lot of water in the coffee pot.
That's a happy little accident.
Yeah. Oh, it's real good. I can't wait for my 3rd cup, which I will be having right after this show. So that's a wonderful thing that you can do there to help support just support a local business. That's not even really necessarily supporting the channel, but you're supporting local business, which is great. Now you might be asking yourself, but Matt, how can I support 2MB Studios? I'm so glad you asked.
Thank you for bringing that excellent question to our attention.
Following is always nice. You can always give us a follow. Hit that little heart button that's down in the corner down there. But if you really want to help, you can hit that subscribe button. It's $4.99 a month for a tier 1 subscription. Very, very doable. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually connect your Amazon Prime with your Twitch Prime, and you get a free subscription every month. You do have to renew it yourself, though. It doesn't renew automatically, so you have to go back every month and do it. So it's the first of the month, so time to renew that subscription if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you. So the subscriptions are always a big help. The channel sees half of that, so basically you can get, it's guaranteed. We get $2.50 per subscription, and that's even if you're using your free Prime. So that's $2.50 of free money that you can give us every week or every month. And if you want to give it to us every week, that's fine too. Sure. But you can also support the channel by going and supporting the amazing artists that we have on our show. So definitely go to Chris's website, purchase his books, look up Marcela's music. Download that. That's a wonderful way to help support everybody.
Everyone.
And now, trivia answer. We should, and then after that, we're going to do birthdays, because I've realized we haven't done birthdays yet either.
We gotta do birthdays. I have so many good ones.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
So Will Arnett was not the first actor to be considered for the role of Job. But who did he have to beat the role out? This would have also been a fantastic choice. He would have been so good at this, but it was Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute, He actually went on
wow.
after he lost out on that role. Then he went to The Office to play Dwight, and that worked out pretty well.
I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, Rainn
That's one
Wilson,
of those,
super cool dude.
Super cool dude. That's one of those Julie Andrews situations. So Audrey Hepburn beat out Julie Andrews for the role in My Fair Lady.
What?
But if that had not happened, Julie Andrews would not be Mary Poppins.
And that movie was. Did you ever see the movie Saving Mr. Banks?
I did not.
Yeah, she did not want that musical made. The woman that wrote Mary Poppins
Really?
was not pleased with the film at all.
Oh dear. With Saving Mr. Banks?
No, with the
Or with
actual
Mary Poppins?
movie. With actual movie. P.L.
Oh.
Travers. Thank you, Mike.
Dear.
Yeah, she was not thrilled with Mr. Disney in the slightest. But that didn't stop Mr. Disney.
Did they become friends later, or?
I think they might have been friends, but she was not happy about that film. So, they found common ground, and
good.
that's kind of what the movie. Speaking of movies about like real things, one of the movies I watched over the weekend was The Founder.
Oh,
have you seen that with Michael Keaton? Mike is a huge fan of that movie. I can see him fist bumping. Michael Keaton, Nick Offerman, and the guy that plays the really creepy clown in American Horror Story.
What a cast!
It's a really cool cast. But it's about the Ray Kroc, the guy that franchised McDonald's, or Roy Kroc. I think.
Yeah. I remember this now. I haven't seen it, but I remember the trailers.
Not a good dude.
Oh, surprise.
Like, you start out the movie being like, oh man, I'm kind of on this guy's side. And then as the movie goes on and you see all the shit that he did, you're like, oh no.
No.
You're a bad man.
You know what?
Yeah.
I just love Michael Keaton.
And Michael Keaton's brilliant. Like, he is so good. He makes that turn. Like, you see
a
that
great villain
happen. He really does.
Like in Spider-Man.
Oh, as the Vulture?
Oh my gosh. Terrifying.
And I can't wait for him to come. He's coming back in, like, he's so coming back.
He's coming back.
Yeah. He's going to be in the new Mobius or Morpheus movie or whatever. It's Jared Leto playing a Spider-Man villain, kind of. Looks pretty good.
Interesting.
So let's talk some birthdays real quick, and then we got to go because we're almost out of time. So today for birthdays, so many good birthdays this week. Today, David Schwimmer, happy birthday, Ross.
Birthday
and Katie Lang.
Katie Lang.
Yeah, it's a duo there. Do you have birthdays today that you'd like to shout out, Chloe?
I do. Happy birthday to friend of the show, Lucy Huber.
Oh, happy birthday, Lucy.
Yeah. If you don't follow her on Twitter yet, oh my gosh, please follow her. She's so funny. Just comedic genius.
Lucy was a guest on the show a few weeks back.
Yes. Good friend and performer Luke Frazier. He does he has a project called Moving Portraits. You should check that out. That's pretty cool.
Luke Frazier, happy birthday.
Yeah. And that's it for that's all I got.
That's it for today. Well, happy birthday to those people. Other birthdays this week. Charles Bronson's birthday is tomorrow. R.I.P. Charles Bronson. But Jim Cummings, the voice actor of Winnie the Pooh, birthday on Tuesday. Wednesday, Mr. All Right, Matthew McConaughey and Puff Daddy. Thursday, Tilda Swinton.
Oh, Tilda.
I love me some Tilda. And Art Garfunkel, that's the odd name birthday day.
Yeah.
And then Friday, You Love Me, You Really Love Me. and we do love Sally Field. So happy birthday to Sally Field on Friday, as well as Emma Stone, another just wonderful, wonderful performer, wonderful actor. Have you seen the movie Pop Star with Andy Samberg? It's a Lonely Island movie.
Oh, yeah.
Emma Stone has a small cameo in that as one of the performers that Andy Samberg writes a verse for his character. It's very, very funny.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
So those are our birthdays. And y'all, that's our show.
That's it.
How
Thanks
fast
for
an hour
coming
and a half
today, guys.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who tuned in. We appreciate you. We love you, and thank you so much for letting us spend our morning with you. It's the best part of the week for me. So thank you all very much. And we will be back. Remember, special time tomorrow, 9 p.m. After Boy Detectives for our special Hello World election night distraction episode.
Late night edition. Things are gonna get spicy, folks.
They're gonna get weird. We're definitely gonna up it to mid cussing level on a Tuesday night. Very excited about that. But until then, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, world.
Bye, world.
Butts.